right, who here you are excited? Who here you're excited to learn from somebody young, dynamic, achieve great success in his Enagic business, not just in his own country, but across many different countries. And you would like to learn from somebody that has been there, done that. Let's put it that way. You're not listening to somebody that has not been successful in Enagic and trying to tell you what are the things you should be doing in Enagic, right? So you want to listen to people that have done it before, and you want to learn from their successes. You want to learn from all the things that worked for him and see how you can make it work for you, right? This is how we can get more and more successful in our business, by taking the best out of each and every speaker that comes into our weekly meetings every week, right? So if you're excited, type "I'm excited" in the chat box. And if your downline is not in the Zoom yet, get them to come on, because you don't want them to miss what this guy is going to talk about, right? Because he has so much to share, and he has so much so much value to give you guys. All right. So if your downline is not here yet, give them a quick buzz, give them a quick SMS, get them to come onto this Zoom call, because they're gonna learn so much. All right. So Heman, are you there? I think. Oh, all right. Heman is there already. One second. Oops. One second. I clicked the wrong button. Add. All right. Cool. All right. So just a brief introduction about Heman before he starts his talk is, I've been friends with this guy for the last, I think, 6 years. 6 years, 5, 6 years, I don't really remember. It's been definitely more than 5 years. And we have actually worked together in India and in Dubai. And we actually was in Dubai for many, many years to help the company build the business there. And now Enagic Dubai is actually opened up back about 3 years ago. And we're doing really, really well there. Amazing team, amazing leaders. And he has his own leaders in India and in other countries, and he has, gone through the learning curve and learning cycle in Enagic, and he's truly somebody that has a lot to share, a lot of knowledge, a lot of things that he learned, and I just can't wait to listen from him. So if you're excited, type Heman in the chat box, or if you want him to give you a lot of value, type more Heman in the chat box, because I want him to give you guys the maximum value, because I know he has so much to share. All right. So Heman, if you're ready, the stage is yours. Can't wait to hear from you. And you guys get a lot of value. See you shortly.
Awesome. Thank you, Simon. And hello there, everybody joining us from so many countries today. Oh my God. Can you guys quickly put the countries that you're all connected from? I'd like to see where you're all connecting from. I'm from India, Bangalore. So if you're from Bangalore, India, just put it on the chat too. And let's see, Singapore, Cambodia, where else? Of course, Malaysia. Someone's talking about my dancing already. We've not even started and they want to see me dancing. We don't want people to run away. Okay, Jordan. Oh, hello. Israel, India, Sabha, Malaysia, Shafung, Cambodia, Bangalore, India, Jordan, Mumbai, Thailand. Wow, nice. So we have a global crowd here, and I really love connecting with all of you because we all share the same energy, the same vision, or I would say the same. We're all in the same boat, right? We're all the same ship, rather, not just boat, right? So today, I really want to thank Sam and Simon for inviting me to speak today. So I'm not gonna talk a lot because most of y'all, you might have seen me or you might have heard of me before. But just for those of y'all who are seeing me for the first time, a quick short introduction about myself. I am 28 years old right now, and I am from Bangalore. I have been in Enagic for about 5.5 to coming close to 6 years now, and we've done some what do you say, some unconventional things, some great business, and we've been able to build the business in many countries. And I really want to thank Enagic for giving us that opportunity. And I always believe that that without my team, it wouldn't have been really possible. So I really want to thank my team. And before starting Enagic, we're from a very low, middle class average background where we used to like every month was like making ends meet, and there was always talks about money. We really didn't have any investments, but a lot of debt. We completely 180 degree shift. I'll tell you just my family background. When I was young, probably I was 7 or 8 years old. My we were actually we used to use public transport like buses and all. Nothing wrong with that, but back then our financial we didn't have a car. We only used to go by two wheelers, and if my dad's gone in my two wheeler, then we'll have to use public transport. And we were once standing at the bus stop, and I asked my grandfather, my late grandfather, that why can't we go in that three-wheel thing, which is called an auto rickshaw, probably tuk-tuk in many of the like the Southeast Asian countries, you call it tuk-tuk, we call it auto rickshaw. So my grandfather told me one thing. He said that this is only for rich people, not for us. So that hit me, and I said that we don't want to be in a position where we have to choose between saving money or comfort. So I wanted to change that for my family, and today we own a few properties. I've invested in some good places, and we I don't know the last time that I went in public transport, that is like a bus or something, even a metro, right? Sometimes in Dubai I use metro because the taxis are really crazy expensive, but most of the time I use taxi there or Uber. But yeah, so there used to be a time where I just used Uber like the whole month I was not driving, and the bill came up to like at least 5,000 ringgit, or in dollars about 1,200, $1,400 just on my Uber, because I didn't want the tension of driving and parking and all of that. So, long story short, you can see how Enagic has been able to completely change our lives. And my mom's doing all the things that she dreamt of doing when I was younger, because they were saving money. Now she's just enjoying her life. And my parents, both of them, are financially free. So, that's my short story about Enagic. And I want to share some of the key success strategies that I've used personally, and that has helped me be able to achieve this. And I have seen some really successful people like use the same things, and they're also successful in what they're doing. So if you guys are interested in that, put number one on the chat. If you guys would like to hear what are the some of the success strategies that I have used and I continue to use. Wow, thank you. A lot of ones. Awesome. So I've just made like a short presentation, and this so basically for me, when I started Enagic, this was about back in 2016 January, when I was introduced to Enagic. Actually, I was introduced to Kangen about October 2015, literally 6 years ago. And my father was the one who told me about it, and I shooed him away because I was like, who's going to buy a water machine for $4,000? And in India, I mean, water and $4,000 does not even go hand in hand. And then later I realized I get the same comment everywhere in the world. But when my dad told me this, I just sent him off, and I didn't even look at it. And in January is when actually Mr. Sam and Mingwei and his entire family were in Bangalore, and my dad tricked me into seeing a demo. So when I saw the demo, I decided, okay, this is the product that we want. But prior to Enagic, I was working for Amazon.com, and very good job. I got promoted 4 times in less than 2 years, and I was about to getting relocated to Seattle. But what happened was I was not really like I. The reason I was moving to Seattle was to find new business opportunities in the U.S. So while working in Amazon, I could start a business. That was my idea. But as a 22, I was 22 years old when I was introduced to Enagic, and this was around the same time. And as a 22-year-old, I didn't have a lot of money or an investment to start a real business. If some of you are businessmen or businesswomen here, you know how expensive or how much you need to actually start a business. Now, I didn't have that kind of money. So I looked at Enagic and I was like, fantastic. The product is perfect because my mom herself, she's a cancer survivor. My father is obese and was obese and diabetic. So I know the product is perfect for them because looking at the previous experiences of people. So there was a catch. I didn't have the money to buy the machine because we were just hand to mouth, living from my monthly salary and my monthly expenses. That's it. There was literally no savings. So I got the machine. So back then, 2016 January is when I started, And that time I was looking for a business to start. So for me, mainly the business was very attractive. Of course, the product was amazing, no doubt about it. But my main convincing factor for me to go all out was the business, because I wanted to remember, I wanted to give a good life to my family in terms of finances, right? Because we live in an economical world. Everything we need to like wear clothes, we need money. We need to like live in a good house, good shelter, we need money. Travel somewhere, we need money. So that was what was running in my mind. So I even remember telling my dad that this business is so simple, so like we can do this. We can do this like, it's like a game for me. So I'm just going to share some of the strategies that I've used and some of the strategies that I've learned over the last 5 years. So now, the first strategy is going to be very simple, but it's the most important strategy, which is to work hard. And literally, there is no, if you ask me, oh, I know everybody knows this. This is so simple, right? Why have you even put this as a strategy? But let me tell you something, there is no substitute to hard work, ever, right? People may say that, you can do smart work and all, but if you do smart work and if you don't work hard, putting that smart work, guess what? Your plan's not going to work. So hard work is very important. Like sometimes we think that we really work hard, but the question is, do we really work hard, or we think that we're working hard? Because there's only two ways you can actually find out whether you're working hard or not, right? Either you track your activity, which is if you look at our business, there's only like basic basic activities that you could be doing, which is if let's take one of the activities that we do, which is like a daily operational methods of operation is you in talk to new people. How many new people do you talk to? That's one of the activity that you can track. Now the question here is, if I ask any of you all, right, how many people did you speak this month? Let's say we're almost coming to the end of this month. How many people did you speak? New people. Now, the point when I say this, right, you may be thinking, yeah, I spoke to a lot of people today. But the question is, how many new people did you speak to? Because sometimes it happens that we speak to our existing team members, or we speak to our existing prospects who's already seen the product, the business. We are talking to them, or we're just talking to someone who's already bought the product. So, but how many new people are we talking to? So, when we look at that, average, we're talking to about 5 or 6 new people a month, average, most of us, right? Now, that's where the biggest difference came, because when I started first, in my first month, I exposed the product to over 600 people. I've said this in many platforms that I did the demos for 600 people. Now, were there 600 demos? Probably no, but probably in one demo 20 people. One demo could be one to one. Could be I did 5 demos for one family, because first the husband sees, then the husband wants the wife to see, then the wife wants the children also to see. So 3 demos in one family itself. So working hard right now, there is a saying that when you work hard, right? No matter how talented you are, hard work always beats talent. So no matter how good you were at what you were doing before, you cannot bank that in to earn money from Enagic when you start Enagic. Like for example, I was a great dancer. Sorry, I'm just talking too much. Right, I was a very good dancer before Enagic. Right now, that will not help me because I really worked hard, hours of dancing and rehearsals and everything. Now that is not going to help me in Enagic, right? Probably some of the things I learned there in terms of my mental could help me, but literally the work that I did there, I cannot use it here. So I got to work hard to become to become good at it. So that's why I say that no, you may be talented, you may be the best person in the place, no doubt about it. Literally, I've met some brilliant minds, brilliant people in the course of last 6 years, in the course of my journey. But I have rarely seen the smart minds or the people who are like greater than me, right? They miss out on one important thing, which is they don't work hard. They think they're working hard, but they don't work hard. So the first thing is to track your activity. right? To see how many new people are you talking to see how many people are you following up with. Because see, you might have, how many of you attended our Essential Kangen workshop, the 1 day workshop? Put an EKW on the chat. Live, I mean face to face or virtual, either of it. Yeah, so in EKW, we talk about all out massive action, which is a 90-day game plan. Now, sometimes people say that, I learned this from Mr. Sam initially and then read the books of Eric Worre and all of them, right? So, the 90-day game plan is more about whatever you're doing, right? You just do more of what the basic fundamentals are, right? And continue that for the next 90 days. But the question here is that when you want to work hard, how many people do you have to speak to? Probably when I started, when I saw the product and the business plan, I was thinking I'm going to go 6A in a month. That's what I was thinking because I know everybody needs the product, everybody needs the business because everybody needs money, everybody needs good health. But guess what? The I had a plan that I'm going to go 6A in a month, but the people who I spoke to, they had a different plan. They were like, it's not going to work out. It may not. It's not for me. Maybe the product's too new in India. It's not going to be for us. All sorts of reasons, right? But guess what? I continue to work hard. I made a commitment to myself. Let's say the people that I exposed the product to, even if they didn't move, me personally, I will at least do share the product with at least 10 people daily. That was my share the product or make invitations at least 10. Now I started off very good in the beginning. So my first 1 week was like packed with people. I was every day bringing in 20, 30 people every day. But guess what? The first day I made 20 phone calls. About let's say 50% of them showed up. Now the next day I have to follow up with the people who have not come for the next presentation, which is 10 additional phone calls. And then I have to follow up with the people who already seen the presentation. That is 10 people who have seen the demo. And again, I got to make extra 10 more invitations, new invitations. So you see, working hard, it sounds easy, but in reality, it's not easy, right? It's a lot of work. And if you decide to just do one thing, this is to work hard. Now, when I say work hard, doing whatever it takes. I always say this, I used to wake up early in the morning at around, my day used to start at 7. Not 7, wake up. I used to leave home by 7 because my earliest meeting will be at 8 o'clock in the morning. Then I used to come back home by 12, 12:30. I still remember sometimes I've come home, I'm in the car, I've reached home, right? You may ask, hey Himant, you told me that you didn't have money to buy the machine. How did you have a car? Now that was on EMI and loan that I had bought with my job in Amazon because they thought that having a job in Amazon is very secure, so they can give me a loan. So I got a very small car, right? So I had the car, and I'm really thankful for that. I still have it. So I used to reach home so late. I used to sit in the car for literally half an hour to 1 hour in the car, and I used to like follow up, send messages because while driving I can't really be on the phone. So I used to like do that, and sometimes I just even forgot that I reached home, and I'm just doing that. Then for some reason my mom or my dad would come out of the house and like, what are you doing here? Come up. That's how committed I was. And the car would be on, the AC will be blasting. I still remember it like yesterday. So, and sometimes, I've driven like so many kilometers to meet one person, and the person says no. But it's okay. I just keep sowing the seeds, keep planting the seeds. So the first thing is to work hard. Now, now one thing is for you to track your activity. When I told you there are two ways for you to know whether you're working hard or not. The second way is for you to see those people who are already having the results that you want to achieve and see what they are doing. For example, right now, I call this like the effect that you can see from others. The social proof or the proof of concept that you see somebody else in the same field doing great, and you're like, wow, I'm not even working hard. I'm not even working 1% of what the other person is doing. I'm really going very fast because I have very little time. I hope the translators are able to manage with the speed that I'm going. But really, thank you all the translators for the great job that you're doing. So the second way is for you to see others working hard. For example, let's say when before COVID, we were all doing offline events. We were rarely doing online events. Some of us, some of the leaders probably adapted to the online much before COVID, so it was easy for them to transition. Like we used to have our weekly meetings on Zoom, even like almost 4 5 months before COVID. I didn't even anticipate COVID, but we started doing it. So it was easy for us in COVID to start, the lockdown and everything. But after lockdown, what happened was we all accustomed, like we all like used to staying at home. Is really it's a total habit change for us to move out of the house and do big events like we used to do before. But I have been seeing of late in India, India has been breaking the records in Enagic. And I'm seeing other leaders, other distributors, other, people from other cities, they're having massive events, 300 people, 200 people events they're having. Now that is for me is like a benchmark that Hemant, no, you're not working hard. You gotta up your level. So you will know whether you're working hard or not when you see others who are doing much more and who already have what you want to have, and you can see what activities they're doing. Then you'll know whether you're working hard or not, right? So that's the first thing, which is to work hard. Um, like nothing beats hard work, and if you work hard, there's just this one strategy alone. For example, when you reach 6A, right, you'll know that really. And if I'm not saying 6A in like 5 years, some people have done that, but what I'm saying is at least have like a goal, a good goal. For me, it took me 1 year to reach 6A, with no business experience, no sales, nothing. I have people about my age, they're doing 6A in about 6 months now. And for me, that's like, wow, I gotta like up my levels and standards. So, when you achieve a rank, let's say 6A, you'll know whether was it like oh, I really put in the hard work. For me it felt like super hard work, and I enjoyed it because I thought of it like a game. Like I was like, wow, it's so nice, I can talk to so many people, I can like meet people, I love meeting people. Now if you're someone who's like, no, I don't like meeting people, then guess what, like this business involves you to meet people, and with that you may meet some amazing people. You will probably come out of that, the thing where you don't want to meet people. Like some of them, I know some of the best people in this business are people who were introverts, or they just like a desk job, or like they don't want to talk to people. Like for example, Mr. Sam, he said this many occasions, that the reason why his previous one of his jobs previously was he was a trader, and because he didn't want to be with people. But then you can see he's like the top highest ranking distributor in the whole of Asia, and everywhere, like Middle East, Europe, everywhere, right? And producing so much volume. So you can see someone who is not very people person, but also can be successful because they worked hard. And if you listen to Sam's story, it's nothing. It's exactly hard work. What I said. First 90 days, he just crushed it. In fact, he did it for 180 days. That's why he's like the best. So that's first one. Let's look at the second one, which is the mindset. Now, the mindset. Now, there is a big thing because so far I was talking about what you can do, but mindset also plays a very important role because mindset is all about what you are thinking about when you're doing it. What are you thinking about when you do it? For example, let's say in our business, we're talking to a prospect, and we're doing a demo, or showing the demo to him or her. But in the back of our mind, we're thinking, hey, if this prospect buys the machine, I earn 1A or 6A or whatever commission, right? I earn, let's say I'm a 4A, I earn 4A, which is how much in US dollars? Around what Yvonne did, it was around $800 approximately. You're thinking in your mind, okay, if I make this sale, I make $800. Now just imagine this is what's running in your mind when you're doing the demo. But imagine if your prospect could hear it. What will they be thinking? The prospect will be thinking, hey, this guy is only thinking about himself. He's not thinking about me. or anything. He's just thinking about him earning this much. Now, I have seen so many times, including my own team members, I've seen that they say, "Oh, I make this sale, I earn this much money." But I've always been in a position where I do the demo with a vision that the other person's life could change. They could be achieving their dreams and goals, through which probably my dreams and goals will be achieved. But I always think about that, so that plays a huge change difference, right? For example, I have seen sometimes that the same thing the same thing my downline talks to the prospect, the same thing I say, the same thing but with a different mindset, and the prospect somehow is connected to me a lot. They're like, I could resonate with this guy, I could, because why? I was thinking about them. So always remember that, you gotta have a strong mindset, or you gotta have a mindset, because everything that you do, you gotta think. Because let's say, for example, I'm just thinking about this when I'm saying it, that some new things are just flowing when I'm talking about it. Let's say you just showed a demo to someone, and they're so excited. They're like, I feel like I want to crush it today. I'm all excited. Then they go home and they do some research. Then they're like, oh no, this is not for me. Or they don't talk to you. They don't respond to your calls. Or they talk to somebody and that person gave something negative, and because of which they don't want to do it anymore. Now, there have been times when, I have seen people when they get negativity from somebody else, they stop. And second thing is, let's say if I am a new person and I've shown a demo to someone, and if that person stops, even I stop doing the business. So because the mindset's not really strong and not very powerful. So and when you become 6A or a 6A2 or something like that, all these things, right, where people talk about negative stuff or whatever, won't really matter, because like I told you, I exposed the product to about 600 people. And do you know how many people actually were there, had joined by the time I became 6A? About 20 of them out of like the 600, or 20 people of my own directs, of course. But then the remaining were all indirects. But you can see somewhere around 500 plus people, they were not there, but slowly they started joining. That's a different story. But if I had let myself affect my mind with those 500 people who didn't want to join, or they were affected by somebody else's opinion, or they just disappeared, they didn't even like respond to your call. Has it ever happened to you that a prospect's completely like disappeared, not even answered your call? They're like fully excited, they go home, and after that they are on ghost mode, then they disappeared. Has it happened? If it's happened, type number two on the chat. Because let me see if anybody's like me that's happened. Oh yeah, see, people everywhere are the same. So what do you do? So sad for them. So what do you do? Do you stop? Because I always tell people that I did not start my business depending on others. I started this business depending on my own potential, my own ability. If others want to join, we'll let them join, or no, it's okay, but I keep moving on. So always think about this, that you did not join this business banking on other people's opinion or banking on other people's actions. You joined this business banking on yourself, right? Think about how powerful that is, because then you have the power. You're not giving the power in somebody else's hand. And sometimes I really see that, the people really, they don't think big, right? Because when you think big, um, your dreams are so bigger that no amount of challenges and obstacles that you face will stop you. So a mindset, because sometimes I tell people that you have to unlearn some things to learn new things. So that's why our workshop and everything comes into play. So my mindset back then was, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Some of my best friends decided to stop doing the business. They even quit. They said, no, this is not for me, right? So some of my best friends, we're still friends, but we don't interact as often as we do before, right? But I just want to add one point here, that Okay, I just want to go one step back because I remembered one very important point from the previous slide, which is working hard, which I just recently saw, and I really resonate with that. There is a saying that, or there's a thing that, lazy people lazy people actually work hard sometimes and they want that to happen, and if that doesn't happen, they give up. But winners, they work so hard every day, and still they're worried if they're lazy. I was like that. I used to work so hard and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing enough. Am I being lazy? How many of you all got that? Sometimes, you work so hard, and still you think you're lazy. You still you worry about whether are you being lazy or not, right? So I just got that message. I wanted to share that. So two things. One is because what happens is with working hard, and if your mindset is not right, then your chances of slowing down or giving up or losing faith in this business is very high. So having the right mindset is very important. Now, how can you increase the mindset? There are a lot of ways. I'm not going to get into that, but these are some of the success strategies that I've used to have a mindset that is unstoppable. No matter what, I'm still moving. No matter who comes along with me or not, I'm still moving. I'm still moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. The moving forward mindset is very important. We hear this from Mr. Oshiro, from Mr. Sam. Literally, when I hear our Dubai experience, also 6 7 months, literally, we sold about less than 20 machines. Less than 20 machines. 6 7 months. In India, Mr. Sam did about, in the first 1 year or so, they did about less than 50 machines or something, and still they persevered, still they went on. Today India alone is giving thousands of machines. Think about that, right? So the mindset is very important. So then the next thing is consistency. Now, I have many of my team members, prospects. They want to know everything before they start. Now, there's practically it's impossible for you to know everything. Like some of the leaders here, we don't know everything that there is, but we know some of the basic things to do, and we know that if we do it consistent enough on a repetitive basis, in a short frequency, we'll get good at it, and then we'll get perfect. We cannot be perfect from day one, right? So sometimes people want to know everything. So I put this because I have what I used to do. I'll tell you, I was not really great. I was probably good at just talking, but in terms of the product, my first demo, a friend of mine who attended my very first demo that I did, and he met me. He attended another presentation of mine. How long ago? 2019. So that's about three years after I was in the business. He attended another presentation, and he said, "Hemant, you've grown like millions of times. You've grown, right, from the first to the, because in between he didn't like, he was like, this is not for me, etc., and all of that. But 3 years later, when he saw my presentation, he's like, wow, you've gone up so many times. So what did I do? I was doing demos every day. I was doing the basic. We only have 2 3 basic things in our business, which is we do a demo, show the plan, or we like to put it in simple terms. We either recruit customers, we sell to users, or we recruit distributors. Right, people become distributors. So either users or we can make people distributors. Only these two things. And what can you do? Consistently talk, make invitations, do the demos, follow ups, promote events. Of course, teaching them how to sell a machine and how to show the plan is one part of it. But if you like underline everything, the only two things we can do together, and of course, more people doing it is more success, which is either you can bring in a user or you can bring in a distributor. Just these two things. Now, when I'm talking about consistency, there is a saying that when you do things consistently, it becomes second nature. Now, when it becomes second nature, today, even in my sleep, I can do a Kangen demo. I'm not bragging about it or something, but it is something that I've been able to achieve. Now, sometimes, it's just like driving a car. If you are learning how to drive a car and you go for the class only once a month or once in 6 months, you're probably not going to learn how to drive even after 5 years, because it's not consistent. It's not consistent in the short frequency. Now, when I say consistent, sometimes people say, yes, Hemant, I do one demo a month, but that's not short frequency. Now, when I say short frequency, which is you do the same actions every day consistently. Every day for me is like a short frequency, right? So being consistent in what you're doing, in your actions, is very, very important. For me, it was like, for example, if I was very consistent in terms of doing my demos, but most importantly, consistent in terms of my follow up, because I know the sale 90% of sales or 99% of sales closes when you follow up. So I used to follow up. I used to be creative to follow up. Sometimes people say, oh, only the people who have good connections, who have money, they can be successful in this business, but not really. When you're consistent, the other person will see that you are serious, and they will join. This is a people's business. People join people. So when they see that you're consistent, that means you're serious, and that means you're serious. That means the person can trust you. They can be a part of your team. So many times I've just won customers or distributors by just being consistent. They're like, Hemant, I know for sure when you say 8 a.m., you're there 8 a.m. sharp. Hemant, I know when you say I'm going to give you water, this much water, this place every time, I can bank on you. So when you are consistent enough, people start trusting you more. And over the time, when you're consistently doing things, guess what? You'll get better, and you'll start seeing results much faster. Like, for example, before, if I used to do 10 demos, I used to probably get one sale. Today, probably I do 10 demos, I can get like 3, 4 sales easily. No problem, right? So, because was it the same people, right? Because you got better by being consistent. And that's what I tell people, that, with hard work and good mindset, but if you're not consistent enough, guess what? No, like, even whatever success, you're just postponing and delaying success. And you can't achieve what you wanted to achieve. Like, for example, I aim to do at least one demo a day. Now at this point, I sometimes I don't do a presentation. I'm like, oh, what is happening? But practically, it's not for me at this stage. I It's a challenge for me to do one demo every day, but I still manage to do it somehow. And I'm so thankful that there's so many people out there in the market who still don't know about Kenyan. Sometimes people say Himal is still saturated. It's still so saturated, but not really. When you are doing something creative, it'll become a habit. Now, when it becomes a habit, you you will find ways to be creative. For example, right now, if I don't follow up, like, I have a list of people who I need to follow up. If I don't follow up with them, I feel like my day is not ended. So it becomes a habit, and that way you start doing many other things in life also consistently. So this consistency is very important. Oh, and then this is the biggest thing that I learned recently, but I knew about this like from way long ago, that it's called the minimum disease. Right now we're in the COVID pandemic era, and like how you guys know, I mean, I hope all of you are staying safe and taking precautions. But the way how COVID spread, right? The way how any disease, for the example, spreads, right? It's like one person gets it, it spreads to others. So why I say this minimum disease is, I've often seen this, and in fact, I really respect Mr. Sam and the entire team, Mingwei and all, for teaching me this basically, which is, when we started in India, all most of them were only buying SD501. Like, almost, or like 95% were only buying SD501. In fact, some of us even thought at that time that SD501 was the only machine available back then, right? In the company, we didn't know about any other machine at all. Now, why that is very important is because when you are when you're starting a business, right, it's really a serious business. Now, like any business, right, doing a business is not easy, right? Any business is not easy. But we can talk about whether the doing our business, whether it's simple or not. That's a different topic. But like for example, in Energic, right? Basically, we the investment for you to start business is just one machine. Whereas let's say the investment for Mr. Oshiro to start a branch will run in millions of dollars, which is easy, right? Of course, starting being a distributor, right? So now what happens is when you start the business, um, I really say that your success is directly proportionate to the probably the machine that you come in with, right? Why? Because let's say you come in with the SD501. I have literally team members who only promote the SD501, and they're really successful. Whereas I have people on the other side, they're like, okay, Ahmed, I'll promote any machine for that matter. Let's say I promote JR4. I promote, there was another machine which is like a very cheaper model, level like R, not available in all countries, but yeah, that was more cheaper than the JR. But people are like, I'll promote that because I'll get more sales. Guess what will happen when you come in with the SD501? You're promoting SD501, and let's say someone is like, Hemant, is there anything lower than that? Okay, then you go for the JR4. Now, the person who buys JR4 will probably be promoting JR4, and the more JR4, what will happen is they will start, then their prospect will be like, is there anything lesser than that? They'll be like, you can start with a plan called Tokure, right? I'm talking about it openly here, but they're like, then some people are like, oh, okay, what's Tokure? Then think about this: someone starting a business with Tokure, teaching somebody else how they can, what you say, how I mean, selling someone a machine. Sometimes it's really I say that I borrowed money. I didn't even have the money when I got the machine, but I really want to thank Mr. Sam that they didn't tell me there was a lower model. I got the SD501, and which played a very important role in my success, because think about this: if you want to take a franchisee of McDonald's or Subway or Pizza Hut, and let's say the franchisee cost $1 million. Example, let's say it's a very nice place, so $1 million. And let's say you don't have $1 million, you only have 10,000 or $100,000. Do you think McDonald's or Pizza Hut will say, "Oh, okay, since you have 100,000, we will adjust, we will make a small outlet for you where you can only sell garlic bread, or where you can only sell coffee, or maybe the basic burger"? No, right? They're like, you don't have the $1 million. Okay, I have many more people in the waiting list. What I'm saying is that it always gets lower. And sometimes, people ask me, Hemant, what's the minimum I gotta do? Like, we have a thing that every 90 days you do at least one sale to make sure that you get the full commissions for your indirect sale. Now, what happens is when people think about the minimum, they are it's it's very natural that they don't succeed because they only think about minimum. When I started the business, I was thinking, what's the max I can do? How many more people I can talk to? Never think about minimum. Sometimes my friends tell me this. They quit their job and they say, "Hey man, I sell 2 machines a month. It's enough for me." Guess what? It's like even after 3-4 months, they've not even sold one machine, or maybe 2 machines they've sold in 3-4 months. But I quit my job in Amazon, and I started doing Kangen full time. In my first month, I sold 10 machines because I wanted to hit the maximum. I wanted to do as much as possible, right? And that's how I started growing and growing, because it's a game of momentum. Now, when you're playing with a minimum, what happens? It spreads around, and then sooner or later, some people will be like, should I even do the business? I'll just give you contacts and you do the business. It'll go to that level after some time. So make sure that when you're talking to people, have find people, or inculcate this leadership mentality where ask me what's the max I can do, not what's the minimum basic. Now, I'll tell you this story because when I bought the machine, I bought it on my credit card. My mom borrowed some money. Then that's how we bought the machine, right? And I got the SD501. And back then, when I had to get the machine, we had to fly to Malaysia to pick up the machine. So our airfare, hotel charges, visa, everything was covered. And in case, God forbid, if the customs catches us in the airport, we got to pay that much of custom duty and all of that, right? So with all that risk, we still like brought our machine and with the difficulty, right? But I did that once. But guess how many times I can tell that story? I tell that story forever, right? Now because I took that risk, I paid off. My machine was free in my first month. I paid off, and back then I was still on debt. I told you I had a car, right? I had a car loan. I had a lot of other credit card EMIs to pay, but still I did it, right? So why I'm saying that is because uh, when people come in, like I have really some of my people, some of my downlines, they come in and they say, "Hey man, SD50, okay, done. Let's go for it. You tell me which machine you want me to start with." I really see a huge success graph in the people who come in, who don't say, "How what's the minimum I should do? What's the minimum investment? What's the minimum I need to do to be, to get full commissions?" All those things. So why I'm saying this is because I really want to thank, because that played a very important role in the success of Enagic in India today, probably because SD50 was the most, like the only model that we were all promoting back then, and that created a good line of leadership. And today, guess what? More than 60 to 70% of machines sold are SD501. I'm not saying don't come with other machines or whatever, but it's just that the mindset, just a change in the mindset that okay, let me go for what's the best. Because you want to start the McDonald's franchise, you think about this, cost you $1 million, you don't have $1 million, you can't. But you know what? In Agit, it's only $4,000. You can borrow the money and do whatever, but start with a machine that's giving people results. And it's a direct correlation I've seen when people come in with the SD501 or above, their success rate is much faster than people coming in with those lower machines. Now, thankfully, there's like one more lower machine, but most of it is SD501. How many of you agree with this? Put an agree on the chat if you agree. Yeah, oh, some of them, I can see Dr. Vivek saying, picked up the SD50, and I really appreciate he became a 6A recently. Congratulations on that, right? So, this is a minimum disease. Thank you, thank you. I can't see all the questions, but yeah. Someone asked me how did I sell 10 machines? Yeah, so I had to do 600 demos, then the 10 machines happened. Um, so that's how. And some of them can ask, how did you get 600 people? Guess what? Me personally, I invited over 300 to 400 people, and from the 300, 400, they started calling one or two here and there, and that's how I reached 600. And I still remember that number like it was yesterday. Thank you. Great. Some of them, like say, so all these things that I'm sharing, these are all the some of the strategies, some of the success tips that I used naturally, which I can actually share this with you, and you can all relate to this. Then let's look at what's next, which is very important, right? Which is to promote everything. Now, back when I started, there was only one event that was happening, which was the Essential Kangen workshop. Apart from the demo, right? So I used to promote the workshop like anything, and in fact, I used to sometimes just buy tickets. I used to buy 10 tickets. It used to be like, let's say in dollars, about $25 to $30 per ticket. I used to buy like 10 of them or 20 of them. And the higher ranks I got, I started getting more tickets because, even if I get like, let's say 20 and I aim to fill the room with the 20 seats or whatever it is, even if one person buys, I cover my cost of investment. But the biggest thing that I was looking at is that one person, what if he becomes a Samsia or Bernard or Chin Shaw Fung or some of the top leaders here, right? What if they become like that? So that was my biggest intention, and I was promoting. And we were like, so the biggest thing is for you to promote everything. Sometimes I see people don't promote it, like they get the message from me but they don't send it to their team members. Biggest mistake, right? So you block the communication. Never block the communication. So promote everything. I used to promote even the silliest things. For example, if the company brought in an accessory, I used to promote. I'm like, when new accessories come in, great, everybody should get it, use it. I used to, promote the water bottles. I used to promote events, company events where the conventions and all of that. I used to promote. Nowadays, we have these webinars. So every time I get like a webinar, I find webinars, I promote it among the team and promote everything because if you can do one thing and just one thing in this business, which is promoting events, promoting everything literally, if there is an incentive, right now there's a September month incentive just ended and they've extended it to October also. The compassion incentive that the company has brought in for all 1A to the highest rank, promote it. Sometimes I see that people don't promote incentives, especially because they themselves feel that they can't achieve it. But don't do that. Promote it. Even like for example, before this compassion incentive, if you all remember, there was an incentive called the 2A Sell campaign. Now, you all know that there were so many changes that the company had in the first 1 week. But every day I used to like the moment they announced it, I promoted among my team. The next day, the new change come again. I set up a Zoom call. By the time 3 4 days, my team was like, "What's happening? So many changes, right?" But guess what? That created momentum. And every time there is something happening, the team gets fired up and if there's a promotion or something, everybody knows how to do the volume, everybody knows how to what you say, do the sell the machines, get their ranks, do the activity. But when there is no promotions, people are like dull. So make sure that you have some incentives within your teams. Sometimes I have some nice gifts like ORP meters or whatever like that, that helps them grow the business. Sometimes I we have incentives like sometimes mostly we have Malaysia, we have the conventions. So we used to have like incentives that okay, you achieve so many machines, you get an incentive trip and all of that. So promote it, even though you feel that you can't achieve it, but promote it. So that's like the fifth and the last key. I know Simon's come on, so it's my time to leave. So yeah. So the last one is the most important, which is to trust the process and have faith, believe, because see, I literally memorized. You can say I crushed the EKW and swallowed it. That's how much I believe in the Essential Kangen Workshop, and I live the Essential Kangen Workshop line to line. I really want to thank that because I used to attend as many EKWs as possible. So I know it works because someone like Mr. Sam, Ingwe, Simon, Bernard, all of them talking about it, I know for sure it works, right? It's just that we have to have that belief and put in that effort. So trust the process. I sometimes have people who lose faith after some time. Now, when you lose faith, that is probably the beginning of the end. I have seen sometimes, and COVID has literally affected a lot of people. But at the rear end, at the other end, when you see, there are literally other teams doing really well. So I give the contrast to my teams. So I want to tell you that when what I did was I told you my first month I sold about 10 machines. Second month, I did another about close to 10 machines. I became a 4A in about 3 months. But the third month, when I got this first month, I earned the money for my machine. And the second month, I earned an extra more money because then I was a 3A, and then you earn more from 3A. I became a bit complacent and I started taking it easy. And I like to say this thing, in this when you stop working, that was like for me, that was like a small, not a downfall, but a small pit for me to come up. There is one thing in our business, which is if you don't work, let's say you want to take rest, or let's say you don't work 1 day, for you to come back on track, you need 3 days to come back on track because you lost the momentum. You don't work for a month, you'll need 3 months to come back on track. So, what's easier is to stay on track, is to do the fundamentals, do the demos, try to set up appointments, meetings, follow up. And you keep doing that, what will happen? It's like a compounded effect that will pay in like it'll just shower upon you. So that's why I even till today I believe in the process, whether my team's moving or not, but I still am doing the basics every day, which is very important. Very, very important. So, it's like I'm a big believer of Grant Cardone, right? 10x. So this I call it the 3x, which is you don't work one day, or let's say you the the yeah, you don't work one day, you gotta put in 3 days of work to regain the momentum, regain the energy back. So that's about it. I think pretty much I've shared the keys that I've used because I just wanted to be short and sweet, not a long one. And Simon, let me know if I've gone overboard, but yeah, that's about it. So when you do all of this, right, what will happen is it will elevate the level where you are. Whenever you need a breakthrough in your business, look at all these keys and apply that. For sure, you'll get a breakthrough. If you feel that you hit a plateau or something, you're just stagnant, you want a breakthrough, just doing one of the things that I just shared with you, you'll get a breakthrough. But the biggest thing, my recommendation will be to work hard. The first one, just do that. You'll move to the next level. And every time you stuck somewhere, just this by itself, when I was preparing this, for me it was a lesson when I was preparing the slides. So that's about it. I hope I was able to give massive value to all of you. Thank you so much, and over to you, Simon.
Thank you so much, Heman. Can we give Heman a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Let's give him a big round of applause, Heman. Woo! Did you guys learn a lot from Heman? Did you guys learn a lot? If you guys learn a lot from Heman, just put there the top 3 things you have learned from him in 3 words. All right, in the chat box. And if you really cannot express it, but you just there's so much value, just type value in the chat box if you've gotten a lot of value from Heman. Hi Zainab. Hi Victor. Hi Rajesh. Hi Heng. Amazing stuff, right? So I mean, I'm very inspired. I've known Heman for half a decade or more already, and it's just been a journey. And in this business, you meet people like that forces you to level up, that forces you to do more and to build more, because the world is abundant. There's enough for all of us, plus, right? So this is the beautiful thing about our business. And every leader that comes here and share their story, they are an embodiment of abundance and how Energic can bring abundance into your life in terms of health, finance, and time freedom, and so many other stuff, right? So if you want to give Heman your sincere thank you and your thoughts, just type in the chat box. Probably you can connect with him on Facebook, all right, or whatever it is. All right. So guys, I just want to say thank you so much for being with us for this weekly distributors meeting. We hope to see you next week with more of your team members. All right. Bring your downlines here, your downlines they have not attended before, your customers who are not distributors, but maybe they attend this, they get inspired and they want to do the business and understand that during this COVID period, we'll be hit by this pandemic. There are a lot of people that are looking for new business opportunities. So revisit your old clients and invite them into our weekly meeting next week. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, this is it from us. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to allow everybody to unmute yourself so you can actually say your highs and byes. All right. Okay, you guys can unmute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Simon. Everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sam.
Thank you,
Take
Heman.
care.
Thank you, Heman.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Heman.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heman.
Thank you,
That's
guys.
very good one.
Thank you,
Thank you,
all the way from
Simon.
Namibia.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. Bye bye. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Simon.
Thank you.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well done. Thank you.
Everyone, take care.